Okay, I came to do the range test. I got everything but my helmet. So let's hope for the best.
My range tests are based on the speeds that I like to ride at. I'm not going to do a range test going at speeds that I don't normally ride. It doesn't serve the purpose of doing a range test for me. I may be wrong, but this is the way I look at it for me. I like to ride, for example, depends on the wheel, but we're talking about the EX. I like to ride the EX at high 30s. The cutoff speed, I believe, for me, my riding weight is around 210 pounds. And on the EX, the cutoff speed, I think, is going to be around 42 miles an hour. So I wouldn't push it past 40. So that's why I say um, I would like to ride the EX in the high 30s. I can deal with high 20s because obviously as the percentage drops, I have to be careful, mindful of my speed. So high 20s to high 30s is my speed range on the EX. So when I do a range test for the EX, I'm going to be riding it at that speed. And I found out on most Gotway wheels, Big Goat, 100-volt wheels, I can still ride at high 20s when the battery capacity hits 20%. So my range tests are based from 100% battery capacity to 20%. After 20%, I'm going to have to reduce my speed. So I don't include that in my range test. But I do know that that 20%, if I'm mindful of speed, I can get at least another 15 to 20 miles. So my range tests are based on the speeds that I like to go at for as long as the battery capacity allows me. And for most part, it is up to 20% battery. But I do understand that the other 20% will still let me get back to the car or the next charge station at lower speeds. Basically, just like old bikes where you had the reserve switch in your tank. When you run out of gas, you would put it on reserve, and you could still go for a good few miles to the next gas station. So that's the way I look at range tests. For example, today, the ride on the EX, I did 24 miles and I used up 53% of the battery, which means I had another 47% left, which means I had another 27% to hit my 20% mark. So that 27% that I had should have given me, mathematically, if you go on paper, another 12 miles. So realistically, on the EX, I feel I can go at my speed range that I like for about 30 to 36 miles, depending on the terrain, weather, etc. And then another 20% at lower speeds to get to wherever I want. So if my trip is only 30 miles, I'm not going to worry about battery percentage, look at my speed, etc. I'm going to go because I know I can do the 30 miles. If I'm going on a 55-mile ride, then I know for the first 30, 35 miles, I can go at the speeds that I like, and then the remainder I would have to baby my speed for 20% to be able to make it to the end of the ride. So I just thought I make that clear the way I do range tests. Thank you very much.
And here are the details of today's ride. This is the outgoing, which was into strong headwind, and this one was coming back. Now, the battery discharge I don't understand because it says 16% for outgoing and 11% for coming back, which is 27%, where in fact I actually used 53%. So I don't understand this battery discharge for that segment of the ride. So maybe somebody can explain that to me. And the average speeds are actually higher because whenever there's people around, I do slow down to around 8 miles, 10 miles an hour. So once I'm actually moving, it is the average speed is more than that. And these speeds are corrected speeds. I use the DarknessBot app speed error percentage that you can change, and I used the GPS recorder and I figured out how much out it was by, and I changed the percentage accordingly.